Welcome to Mischief Wargaming. I'm John, and this is Blood Bowl. We're in the home stretch, as this month's videos will be the final round of the Mischief Cup. With the league standings looking so close, every game is going to be important. We kick off this round with the Dünderhaven Dukes facing the Darkmire Monster Mash. The Dukes have really struggled to get a dominant victory in this league, but they go into this game in a stronger position than their undead opponents. The only real difference compared to the team last round is that the Ogre, Sir Ben, has the grab skill. This will help him counter the Wraith's sidestep skill. Meanwhile, Darkmire are in a weakened state. The last game left them with multiple players missing. They're having to bring on 2 zombie Journeymen to meet the minimum of 11 players. But the team is still at a noticeable disadvantage, so hire the services of the skeletal dwarf Skrull Halfhieght. This star player is a strong passing player, something the team doesn't usually have access to. But a well-timed pass to either werewolf or to the ghoul can be the difference between victory and defeat. The coin is flipped and Dünderhaven win. They choose to kick the ball first. Once the ball is kicked, the kickoff result is brilliant coaching. Both teams roll a d6, and the highest gains a reroll for this drive. Darkmire gained the extra reroll as the ball lands. The game begins with the open Darkmire players moving up. Jimmy Graves blitzes Oscar Haymare Black. The attack would push him back, but the bodyguard's stand firm skill keeps him there. The werewolf follows up with a frenzy attack, causing the bodyguard to stumble. David Barkham picks up the ball. Bobby Charlton throws a block at Geoffrey Cavendish Jones III. Again, the bodyguard's stand firm skill means the block does nothing. Vinnie Bones rolls for Dauntless as he looks to block the Hulking Ogre. He passes, so his strength is raised to match Sir Ben's. Unfortunately, he only pushes him back. Scary Henri rounds out the turn by blocking Cavendish Jones, doing nothing. The Dukes see the retainers, Walter Tuffington Wheatley and Rosie Whittington Down, move up. Harold Potter Smith II blocks John Terror, pushing the zombie back. Reginald Cobb-Hotley blitzes Barkham, but only manages to push the werewolf back. Dirk follows up with his own block, knocking Barkham down. His armor holds, and the ball hits the dirt. Elizabeth Gordon Pike blocks Dead Lampard, knocking him down. But the zombie's armour protects him. Sir Ben passes his bonehead roll before blocking Vinnie Bones. The attack knocks the lineman down, but he's otherwise unharmed. Turn 2 begins with Barkham, Bones and Lampard getting back to their feet. Joe Heartless dodges away. But he fails. He uses his dodge skill to re-roll, but it still fails. Heartless trips onto the ball. He's unharmed, but the ball bounces away and a turnover is caused. Walter Tuffington Wheatley moves in. Gordon Pike blocks Lampard, causing the zombie to stumble. Haymare Black then attacks Jimmy Graves. The werewolf stumbles. His armour broken. A casualty is caused. Like last game with Darkmire, I roll for all the regeneration rolls off screen. Graves fails the regen roll and is seriously hurt. Edward Terred Price blocks Skrull Halfhieght. The Star Player is knocked down, but the Dwarf's armour holds. Randall Havendish IV blocks one of the zombie Journeymen, causing them to stumble. Sir Ben blocks Scary Henri, the zombie stumbling back. Potter Smith blocks Terror. The zombie stumbles and is stunned. Gob Potley pushes Barkham back. Whittington Down goes to block Gareth Whale. She passes her foul appearance roll and knocks the Wraith down, who uses their sidestep skill to land where they want to. Cavendish Jones blocks Bones, causing the dauntless zombie to stumble. Dirk blitzes Charlton. With only push results, the Golem Stand Firm skill would mean the attack did nothing, so Dünderhaven use a reroll. Unfortunately, the new result isn't any better, wasting the blitz and the reroll. With most of their players on the ground, Darkmire have another short turn to look forward to. Once the dead rise, Barkham blitzes cold-hotly. The Duke's dodge skill protects him from stumbling. Barkham follows up with a frenzy attack, but an attacker down result means Darkmire use their free reroll. But another stumble result means Reginald is only pushed back. Charlton blocks Dirk, causing him to stumble. But his armour holds out. Sir Ben fails his bonehead roll, so does nothing for this turn. Cobblepot goes to block Whale, but cannot overcome their foul appearance, so also does nothing. Pottersmith dodges, the first success of this turn. Gordon Pike blocks Dead Lampard. Zombie stumbling back. And is knocked out. Haymaker Black blitzes one of the two Journeymen, but with a both down result, uses his wrestle skill to knock them both down with no injuries or turnover. Terrid Price blocks Bones, pushing him back. This lets Cavendish follow up and knock him down. Whittington down blocks the Flesh Golem, knocking him down. But his honour holds. Gareth Whale blocks Dirk, causing him to stumble. Scary Omri blocks Cavendish Jones, but the bodyguard wrestles them both to the ground. Heartless blitzes Pottersmith, knocking him back. As the Ghoul uses the team's blitz, he's free to move and he picks up the ball. Skrull Halfhieght blocks Taffington Wheatley, pushing the retainer back, but uses fend to keep the star player from following up. Terrid Price blocks the Journeymen, knocking the zombie down. Randall Havendish blocks Vinny Bones, but only pushes him back. Walter blitzes the ghoul, pushing him back. Sir Ben again forgets where he is. Whittington down blocks David Barkham, but a both down result means that Rosie hits the ground, with Barkham's block skill protecting him. Rosie's armour holds, but a turnover occurs. The Journeyman and Scary Henri get back up before John Terra moves in. The ghoul manages to dodge this time. Barkham blocks Dirk, knocking him down. But not breaking his armour. Gareth Whale blocks Cobblepot Lee, pushing him back. Lastly, Charlton blocks Cavendish Jones, who uses their wrestle skill to knock them both prone, unharmed. Dirk, Cavendish Jones and Whittington down get back up. Walter Taffington Wheatley needs to pass 2 rush checks in order to move in next to Heartless. Sir Ben finally remembers where he is and blocks Henri, knocking a zombie down. Harold Potter Smith blocks Vinny Bones, causing him to stumble. Randall Havendish blitzes Joe Heartless, leading to rush to do so. The attack knocks the ghoul down. Throwing the ball up. Cobblepot Lee pushes Barkham back. While Terrid Price fails to block Gareth Whale. David Barkham dodges away before blitzing Cavendish. Randall's dodge skill protecting him, but the werewolf's frenzy means he must follow up and block again. This time in the Duke's favour. With both players having the block skill, the second attack does nothing. Skrull Halfhieght tries to dodge away, but he trips and falls, ending Darkmire's turn. Only forced Sir Ben to go right back into forgetting where he was. Pottersmith blocks Omri, but an attacker down result means using their last reroll to instead just push the zombie back. Cavendish pushes back John Terror. Tuffington Wheatley blocks David Barkham, locking him down. Cole Potley pushes Scary Henri back. Dirk blitzes Omri. Causing him to stumble. Dirk then goes to pick up the ball, but he fumbles it. The ball hits the mud and causes a turnover. Halfheight, Heartless, Omri and Barkham get back up. Finny Bones blocks Pottersmith, knocking him down. I remembered just after the cut about Fend, so he didn't actually move up. Bobby Charlton blocks Cavendish Jones, causing the bodyguard to stumble. But his armour holds. Dirk pushes Heartless back. Tuffington Wheatley knocks the werewolf down. Before Cavendish causes another turnover by failing to pick up the ball. It's the last turn of the half, and with Barkham down, there's no real chance of scoring. John Terror blocks Pottersmith. Breaking his armour and stunning him. Charlton blocks the ogre, who stumbles, but is unharmed. Vinny Bones ends Darkmire's turn by blitzing Cavendish Jones, knocking him down. Pottersmith and Cavendish Jones get back up, but Sir Ben fails yet another bonehead roll and decides to end the half early for himself. Gordon Pike blocks a Journeyman, causing him to stumble. Cavendish blitzes Heartless. But the Ghoul's dodge skill protecting him. Taffington Wheatley blocks Barkham, but nothing happens as both players have block. Whittington Down manages to block Whale, causing the Wraith to stumble. At the end of the first half, the game is tied with no touchdowns. At the beginning of the second half, the crowd's cheering lets Darkmire make a prayer to Nuffle. The result is that any casualties caused by pushing Dukes into the crowd will award Star Player points. The Dukes begin the half with Taffington Wheatley picking up the ball. Whittington Down, Pottersmith, Gordon Pike, Dirk and Cavendish move up. Cole Potley blitzes Dead Lampard, pushing him back. Sir Ben blocks Charlton, but the Golem's stand firm skill rendering the attack useless. David Barkham blitzes Terrad Price, who uses the wrestle skill to knock them both down safely. Vinny Bones blocks Cavendish Jones, knocking him to the ground. Gareth Whale blocks Gordon Pike, pushing her back. Lastly, John Terror blocks Cavendish, but Randall's dodge skill protects him. Potter Smith blocks Omri, causing the zombie to stumble. But not breaking his armour. Dirk blocks Heartless, pushing him back. Tuffington weakly follows up, but likewise can only push the ghoul back. Cobb Hotley causes Lampard to stumble. Sir Ben passes his bonehead roll, but his block on Chaltoon does nothing thanks to Stand Firm. Randall Cavendish blocks Terror, needing to use a reroll. The new result gets through the zombie's armour, knocking him out. Vinnie Bones blocks Terry Price, but does nothing thanks to Stand Firm. A zombie journeyman takes a shot at him, but also fails to do anything. Chaltoon blocks Cavendish Jones, but again the bodyguard having Stand Firm comes in handy. Joe Heartless tries to dodge, but fails even after his skill reroll. His armour holds, but causes a turnover. Capitalising on this blunder, the Dukes move in. Cobb Hotley blocks Scary Omri, using his block skill to knock the zombie down. Omri is left stunned. Potter Smith then blitzes Lampard, knocking him into the crowd. The rabid fans stun the undead player, so he's placed into reserves. Sir Ben blocks the golem, knocking him down. Haymare Black blocks one of the Journeymen, causing him to stumble. The undead rise back to their feet. Barkham blitzes Dirk, but the bodyguard uses wrestle to keep himself safe. Gareth Whale goes to block Randall Havendish, but the Blitz's dodge skill keeps him standing. Vinnie Bones blocks Terry Price. He stumbles, but is otherwise unharmed. Dirk blitzes the Star Player. Skrull stumbles. And is stunned. Walter, Rosie and Reginald move up. Gordon Pike blocks Heartless. Knocking the ghoul out. Sir Ben blocks Bobby. Breaking his armour. The flesh golem is left stunned. Barkham gets back up and is immediately on the offensive as he blitzes Elizabeth. She stumbles, but is otherwise fine. Vinnie Bones blocks Terry Price, but it does nothing. Whale blocks Havendish, knocking him down. The Duke is left stunned. But it doesn't matter, as there's nothing preventing Walter Tuffington Wheatley from scoring a touchdown, leading the game 1-0. The team set up again and all the Darkmire players who are knocked out recover. Again, the kickoff result is brilliant coaching, this time with Dünderhaven gaining the extra reroll. Skrull Halfhieght picks up the ball. And makes a short pass to Barkham. The throw is accurate. And the werewolf catches the ball. Charlton blitzes Hairmare Black, knocking the bodyguard to the ground. and stunning him. Vinny Bones blocks Dirk. Ultimately knocking out the Duke. Kara, Heartless and Varkham move up. Randall Havendish blitzes Vinny Bones. Using his block skill to knock the zombie down. Sir Ben flattens the zombie journeyman. The armour breaks, and with the ogre's mighty blow skill causes a casualty. The zombie fails his regeneration roll and is out of the game. David Barkham dodges away from the Dukes, needing to use his skill reroll to do so. Bobby Charlton blocks Taffington Wheatley, but has to use an actual reroll. Unfortunately, the team's bad luck continues, and both players go down. The Duke is left stunned. But the golem's knocked out. This also causes a turnover, cutting the Darkmire turn short. Havendish blocks Joe Heartless. Knocking him down and stunning him. Sir Ben blocks Gareth Whale. The Wraith stumbles and the Ogre uses his new grab skill to prevent the Wraith from using sidestep. Terry Price blocks the remaining Journeymen. Stunning him. Cavendish Jones blocks Scary Omri. but has to use a reroll to avoid disaster, instead using his wrestle skill. Pottersmith rounds out the turn by blitzing Barkham. The werewolf is knocked down, throwing up the ball. Despite how bad things look, there is still a chance for Darkmire to score if David Barkham can get the ball. Scary Omri stands and blitzes Pottersmith, pushing him away. Freed up, Barkham gets up, dodges away, and goes to pick up the ball. He needs to use a reroll to do so, and then moves towards the end zone. John Terror blocks Gordon Pike, but both players end up down. Elizabeth is stunned. And a turnover occurs. And we're at the final turn of the game, and the Dukes will win if they can stop the werewolf from scoring. Randall Havendish makes 2 rush checks to move in. Sir Ben blocks Finny Bones, knocking him down. This lets Haymare Black blitz Barkham. A rush is needed to reach him, but the resulting attack knocks the werewolf down. Worse for Darkmire, he's knocked out. With that, Dünderhaven end their turn, and Darkmire, with nothing really that they can do, just immediately end theirs. Ending the game, the Dünderhaven Dukes win 1-0. Dünderhaven really lucked out this game. They didn't really outplay their undead opponents, instead Darkmire were just victims of appalling bad luck. That said, the plethora of Stand Firm really halted Darkmire's offence when it mattered. The Dukes collect their winnings and increase their dedicated fans by 1. The MVP was Elizabeth Gordon Pike, and as it's the final round, I decided to just use as many of the start player points as possible. So the following players rolled for random skills. Walter Tuffington Wheatley gains Tackle. Rosie Whittington Down gains Dauntless. Elizabeth Gordon Pike gains Catch. Jeffrey Cavendish Jones gains Strip Ball. And Oscar Haymair Black gains Dirty Player. With the winnings, the team purchases a reroll, and here's how the team looks at the end of the final round. As I said, Darkmire were painfully unlucky this game. Losing Jimmy Graves so early to injury really impacted the team's options. Only having one of each positional really limits on what the team can do. With only one Ghoul, one Wraith and one Golem. It didn't help that for much of the game they could only push the Dukes back, and sometimes not even then with the amount of Stand Firm. Skrull Halfhieght has been the least impactful star player so far, but he got one good pass in there. Was he worth the 150,000 gold? Probably not, but undead star players do seem to be plagued with chronic overpricing. The team collect their winnings, and the MVP was Dead Lampard, who rolls for a skill, gaining Dauntless. Here's how the team looks at the end of the round. And here are the league standings. Of course there's still plenty to play for in the remaining games, but Dünderhaven have tied Darkmire on points. Darkmire still lead based on the victories, but it's really almost anyone's game. Sorry Greenshire. Speaking of who, we'll face the Wildglade Wanderers in the next game. And so that was the start of the final round of the Mischief Cup. If the top 2 teams are tied on points, there's going to be a final match, but we'll cross that bridge if we can get to it. I also think now's a good time to talk about what's next for Blood Bowl. A break. The channel has been going pretty full on with Blood Bowl since I returned at the beginning of the year, and while it has been a ton of fun playing so much Blood Bowl, I want to mix things up a bit with a bit of a mini campaign in a different game. But the Mischief Cup will return in January, with the winner of this league facing 5 brand new teams. In the meantime, if there's any other games that you would like me to have a look at, let me know in the comments below or on Instagram. Until then, thank you very much for watching. Take care.